Estimate the volume of a shoebox, question 19, in centimeters cubed. Now then, a lot of shoeboxes are usually about 30 centimeters long, and they're normally about 20 centimeters wide. And depending on the size of the shoes, they can be between 10 to 15 centimeters high. So we could come up with two estimates here. Now, volume is when you have a cuboid, is when you do length times width times height. And we've just talked about the measurements there, the length, the width, and the height. So the 30 would be considered the length, the 20 would be considered the width, and the 10 or 15 would be considered the height. So what we're going to do is times those numbers together. Length times width times height. Now we'll come up with we'll start with the easier one. So the 15 is going to be harder. So the easier is if we keep this as 10 because it's got a 0 on the end of it. So 30 times 20 times 10. Now then, this sounds difficult, but if you forget about the zeros to begin with and just go 3 times 2 times 1, 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 times 1 is still 6. And then we've forgotten about 1 0, 2 zeros, 3 zeros. So we just have to add 3 zeros onto the end of this. So 30 times 20 times 10 is actually 6,000 centimeters squared. And that would be a very good estimate, 6,000 centimeters squared. If you wanted a slightly more difficult estimate, what you could do is do this instead. So you could go 30 times 20 times 15, and then you could leave the 15 till the end and just do 30 times 20. Well, 30 times 20, 3 times 2 would be 6. Then you've got 1, 2 zeros to put on, so that'd be 600. So it'd be 600 times 15. Now that sounds difficult, but you could cross off the 2 zeros and do 6 times 15, and then put the 2 zeros back on at the end. 6 5s are 30. 6 1s are 6 plus 3 is 9. 90. So 6 15s are 90. So 600 15s must be 100 times bigger than 90. And 100 times bigger than 90 is another 2 zeros on the end of that, which is 9,000. So I would say that for your estimate, anything from 6,000 centimeters cubed to 9,000 centimeters cubed would be a good estimate for the volume of a shoebox.